You're watching Pyro Media Network.
We just keep on walking, but never really getting nowhere. It's like we keep on talking, but never really saying nothing. On different sides, on different times, stuck in a ways we ain't changing. Can't read your mind, and I've really tried. You won't let me in like we're strangers. Say opposites, supposed to attract, but we both can tell it feels often. Should let it go, but somehow we hold, and it happens way too often. We're so different, we're so different. How can we ever agree, make it fit? It's just like we're so different, we're so different. I don't quite understand you, you don't get me. It's just like we're
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome back to Tammy's Take. I know I have been on hiatus, took a little bit of break, conflict, scheduling, but we are back. And we're back with tonight's show with hot topics. Now, the fun thing about this show, and I'm so happy he agreed, I have my producer, Kwame, back with me tonight to discuss some of these hot topics. And one of the reasons why I want Kwame back tonight, because I think Kwame and I think alike with some slight differences, and I like that about our friendship and our relationship. And so, welcome back to Tammy's Take. Let's start the show. Did you miss me? Because I missed y'all. And I want to welcome back to Tammy's Take my friend, my producer. I can't say enough about this human, one of the most incredible humans to exist. And we're going to be discussing a topic tonight on Tammy's Take that is very close to Kwame. He is part of community for which we were going to be talking about. And I want to have this conversation with Kwame because I feel like we need to have it. And I want to have it respectfully. And I think a lot of us, especially as Black women, and we'll talk about this later in the show. I said this in one of my TikToks that a lot of us as Black women, we tolerate people from the community, especially the ones who look like us. We don't like them for real. And every now and again, something will pop off that involves somebody from the community, and I'm proven right over and over again. But that's for the end of the show, so stick around because you definitely want to wait for that hot topic. But without further ado, I want to introduce my friend, my producer, Kwame, to the show.
What is going on, Queen?
Hey, Kwame! I really am so happy you're here, especially because I'm coming back from some time off. And so to start the first show with you, chef's kiss.
Yes.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
So I told Kwame, I gave him a list of hot topics that I want to cover. And I think the first one that we must cover, because it is literally everywhere. It's not just relegated to where this happened or on YouTube or some social media platform. This is everywhere. This has made national news. And what we're talking about is the Perez Hilton.
Yeah.
Now, I was fortunate. I don't know about you. I was fortunate not to have seen live. Did you see the live where
I did
did you
not.
catch any of
But
that?
I did not, and I'm glad I didn't because it would have been really triggering for me. By the time I heard about it, I was told to rush to the to see the live, and it was already ended or taken down. So I'm glad I didn't see it, and I didn't want to go back to see it anyway. I just was told, "Oh my God, Perez Hilton is crashing out on live. Go ahead and look at it." And so, of course, what I do, it's like, doing pop culture commentary and political commentary and stuff like that. So I was just going to cover it to see if that was something that,
Right.
but I didn't know what he was doing. I was just told Perez Hilton is crashing out. And I got a couple of texts on that. But I didn't know what it was. So I'm glad I did not see it though. But I know a couple of people that did see it, and it was unfortunate. So yeah, so I didn't see thank God I didn't see the actual situation that was going on with it. I am glad that I didn't see it because it would have been triggering. And I just don't, and I know they have like videos of it on Twitter and stuff like that, but I'm not interested in seeing. I don't need to see it for me to hear or understand what the premise of everything was that was going on. And I don't need to hear or to see it
Yeah.
to understand that he had, it wasn't even just a crash out, he was self-harming, and it was very bad. So
It
yeah.
was terrible, and I didn't see it either. I was privileged to not. Well, I don't even follow Perez, so I wouldn't have seen his live anyway because he's not a creator that I follow, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the people that follow him in traffic in that kind of gossipy space are not people I
Mm-hmm.
follow anyway. Now, here's the
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable conversation that I think we need to have because there's a lot of compassion, a lot of empathy going towards Perez Hilton, but
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a case of you reap what you sow. You cannot build
Mm-hmm.
a life, a career on destroying other people, right? Having no
Mm-hmm.
care for their mental health, having no
Mm-hmm.
care for how your words are impacting them, and think that you're going to live the rest of your life in prosperity and peace and love. Like that's not going to happen. And that has not happened. And I I'm the empathy lady, so I get the conversations that are being had, but can we have that conversation?
Yeah. And to, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, it really is. That's what I've been saying. It's a question about karma. It's a question about, what you put out, you get back. And I said the same thing about Wendy Williams. I said the same thing about Perez Hilton, or I'm saying the same thing about Perez Hilton. And I said the same thing about, someone that we're going to talk to or talk about later on. When it comes to Sidney Starr. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's a sad situation.
Right. It's definitely sad all around, and I want people to consider. And I think this is a good lesson because you talked about Wendy Williams, that
Mm-hmm.
you have to consider what you are putting out into the world, like
Mm-hmm.
tearing people down, being destructive. It is going to get you the clicks. It's going to get you the views. But that karmic debt is high, and when that
Yeah.
karmic debt is called, the people who were watching your videos and clicking on them and commenting, they're not going to pay that with you. That bill is
Yeah.
for you and for
Yeah.
you alone. And so I hope while people are engaging in empathy, which I love to see it, while they're engaging in empathy, while they're engaging in care, while they're engaging in concern, I hope it makes them stop to consider, what am I putting out into the world? How am I
Yeah.
showing up in the world? Because I don't want to end up like a Perez Hilton, where I'm on live, literally having, and not to get spiritual, because I'm not a church girly, but it felt real demonic.
Yeah.
Not you know, I
Yeah.
I, I don't want to be that. Do you want to be that?
I don't, and I feel like also it was just these people that we're talking about, like, you know, you know, that are, they have their own demons that they have to battle, you know. It's not about getting spiritual, it's not about, but like, it's true, what you put out into the world, you're going to get back in some way, shape, or form. And it's something, it reminds me of something you know, auntie in my head, you know, T.S. Madison always says, you know, you got to put in that good work so you can get that good check, you know, because payday is coming, you know, so that's why you got to put in that good work, and you know, and payday is coming, and it's not about, like, you know, trying to stand here and be like, you know, oh, holier than thou, or trying to be like, you know, oh, that gotcha type person, or like, you know, you reap what you sow, or, you know, like, you know, that whole like, oh, I told you so type situation. It's not even about that. It's really just about a basic spiritual law, and just a basic, like, it's in my opinion, it's not really pseudoscience. It's not metaphysical. It's just, it is how it's a spiritual. It's a physical, or you know, or what is it? Physical law to me, or law of physics, where what you put out, you get back, you know. Right. So it's right. And Perez Hilton, during some really, really dark times in Britney Spears' life, really, really dark times in other people's lives, he just kept going, and he did not care about what people were going through or what people were saying. And I'm not here to bash the brother, like dude, like, you went through it, like, we've all been through some dark times, you know. And so I don't wish, you know, anything harmful like that on anyone. I don't wish mental health issues on any person, even my worst enemy, because it's basically a prison that you're putting yourself in, or that you're put in within your body, and that's a scary situation. So and then his kids have to see this, like his family. It's a tough situation, but hopefully he gets the help that he needs, and that he sees that this is what you put other people through. This is, you exploited other people's dark moments and stuff like that. So now people are literally exploiting your dark moment. And I hope that you will take that information and sit with it for a little bit, not to beat yourself up, but also just to evolve and move forward, because there's a new way on how to, you know, blog or vlog, or even discuss, you know, commentary and stuff like that. I still give my shade when it comes to certain people. Like, we're going to talk about people on these hot topics too, but you know, there's a way to do it. There's a way to navigate. There's a classy way to navigate it, and I don't think you have to, you know, delve into people's and wallow in people's, you know, misery, and you know, in order for you to get a click or a view.
Absolutely. And I think Perez Hilton and a lot of the bloggers, you know, and I'm always so grieved that this woman shares a zodiac sign with me, Tasha K. She's a Pisces as well.
Oh God.
You know, because a lot of their commentary is with malicious intent. Right? Like, you can give commentary on pop culture. You can talk about celebrities, right? Like, that's why they are for our public consumption. Celebrities is for the public consumption, right? So let's be clear about that. But there's a way to consume people that doesn't consume them.
Yes. Well said. Absolutely.
And so like I said, I think this lesson is beyond the Perez Hilton conversation. And this is for those of us who do hot topics, who do commentary on, you know, celebrities. How do you do that? Right. And I like to think, because, you know, Kwame is a star in himself, right? Like, he is a celebrity already. I myself am a celebrity. And so I want people to consume me in the way they have watched me consume others, with a level of care and respect, that even if they think I've done something wrong, even if they think I did the wrong thing, because they will know you by your works. Now, don't make me get the Bible on you folks, okay? Because they know me by my works, even if the commentary is to be about accountability, and even if they need to chastise me, they're going to do it with empathy, kindness, and love, because that's how they've seen me operate in the world. And so if you're a blogger, let what is happening to Perez Hilton be a litmus test for how you show up in the world, because in the words of Funky Dineva, you're going to pay it on the front end, or you're going to pay it on the back end, but you're going to pay it.
But you're gonna pay it, absolutely. And speaking of pay, that word you just gave deserves a Cash App. So right down there below, you see that it says you want to support Tammy. Go ahead and send her a Cash App for that. Give her some tithes and offerings for what she just said. That was a word from on high. Okay, Vanna Black. That's her damn Cash App. You better give her a damn $1 or $2, girl.
But yeah, so Perez, I think Kwame and I have the same sentiment. We hope you get well. We hope you get well. And when I say I hope you get well, I'm not just talking about physically recovering. I hope you get well. And here's the thing. When you have harmed people, one apology may not be enough. You may need to apologize to me every time you see me if that's what's required. And every time you come back to the internet, because we know he's going to come back to the internet, you need to start every commentary apologizing to the people you have harmed, because the mental place that you're in, that's where you put a lot of people. We just didn't see it on our phones, what they were doing to themselves behind closed doors. You allowed us to see what you did to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on that, we're moving on.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Next
now,
up.
now this is this young lady. Listen, there's so much commentary right now around Ariana Grande, and I want us to be so effing for real, okay? And stop playing with people's intelligence about what we see happening right in front of our eyes. Okay. I need us to be so for real and stop pretending we don't see what's happening right in front of us. This young woman is sick. This is not, because eating disorders they're sick. This is not a choice that people get up every day. Like, your brain tells you have to do this every day. You have to starve yourself. You have to exercise. This young woman is sick. Now, I saw this on TikTok, and I think her name is Jennifer. Okay. And she said this, Kwame, and I was like, now we can shut up all the discussions, because I think Jennifer cracked the code. Here's what Jennifer said. Jennifer said, I wonder if people first, how old is Ariana Grande, Kwame? Do you know how old she is?
I can pull it up right now.
No, don't pull it up. No, I don't want you to pull it up. I don't want you to pull it up. I want you
to guess.
Yeah.
Late 20s, mid 20s. Okay. Yeah.
Ariana Grande is mid 30s.
What? I didn't know that.
She's in her mid 30s. And the reason why I asked that, and I hope the audience just answered the question without looking it up either, because Jennifer said white pop star celebrities, they have a shelf life inside of white culture and their audience, right? Like Taylor Swift, that's why people calling her the oldest teenager, right? Because her fan base were young white girls, right? And a lot of those girls, Ariana Grande's body is resembling that of a pubescent young girl, right? But she's in her 30s. But the people that listen to Ariana Grande are little girls. They're 9 and they're 10. Do you remember the young girl on TikTok, Shay? She is autistic, and that's her core audience. But she's in her 30s. So they have to make her body look like the audience they're trying to sell her to.
You know, I don't know if I agree with that, sis, and I'm gonna tell you why. See, I'm a big proponent of I don't like body shaming, right? And I'm not saying that that's what we're doing. But when this first came out, and I said this on my show, like a couple of weeks ago, it was brought up, and I was like super defending Ariana Grande. I was like, why are you guys body shaming her? Like, it shouldn't matter. Like let her, she was been on tour and stuff like that. But then this picture came up recently, and that's what people were like, hello, we have a problem. Now, let me explain something to you. There's a difference between when we see Lizzo dropping weight, Lizzo lost a lot of weight, but she still looks very healthy, right? And she's still she's doing it in a way where it's not it's not unhealthy for her body type, right?
Right.
Who else lost weight? There was another person that lost weight that it came down naturally. Like Adele. Adele lost a tremendous amount of weight, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't look unhealthy. So to me, this wasn't a when I started delving into like, okay, this because when I saw this shocked me. Because I've seen Ariana Grande, like I'm still a huge fan of Ariana Grande when she first came out. Okay, this is when she first came.
Yeah,
like,
healthy.
You see what I'm saying? Very healthy, very like, and she still was very skinny and small. Like I'm not trying to like knock it. Like she was still very skinny and small.
But you know, Kwame, in that community, our skinny and their skinny are different.
It's very different. Yes, absolutely. But this is not. I should not see your bone.
Okay, go back to the last photo where you said
this one. Yeah,
this is skinny to Black people.
Yes,
that is fat. That is fat to white people. That is a fat body to her core audience, which is white. Now, I'm not saying that Ariana Grande don't have Black fans. Of course she does, right?
Yeah.
Because she came out sounded very much like a sister. You know what I mean? Like you had to, before I knew what she looks like, I thought it was just like a sister of their singing because she studied Black artists, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey.
Right. And they were calling her the next Mariah Carey.
They were calling her the next. So she was modeling herself and she came out very, very tan. So kind of doing that ambiguous. They already know how this goes, right? They always market these young pop stars to Black people first. So they make them cool. And then they start slowly whitewashing them for the white audience, right? Ariana Grande's white audience is still very young girls. It's funny because I was looking back at some photos of myself, which is why for a while it took me to admit, girl, you fat. Okay, now stop playing with the thick and you fat. Okay, because
you're not fat, Tammy.
but for I've slimmed down, but based on what my body came from, I still think, how in the world was 0? Like I think about like that on my body now, I would look absolutely sick. But when I was a young girl, that looked absolutely normal on my body. This body that Ariana Grande, because trust me, it's her team. I believe the pressure for her to still look like a younger person. And part of that is in the body, the way that our bodies develop. You can tell a woman's body from a young girl's body. This thin is a young girl's body. And they refuse to allow her, because this is her management. Let's be very clear. Yeah. They refuse to allow her to grow into a woman. Now, Taylor Swift has hit her wall. That's why we're now getting the more mature Taylor Swift, the now married woman Taylor Swift, because her body can only do that emaciated thin for so long before it can't do it anymore. So now we see Taylor Swift, not as the thin Swiftie, but the flat cakes on the stage. She's now the mature woman, who is now married. Ariana Grande, for whatever reason, they're not allowing him to do this. And this body is appealing to those to the girls that were me, the teenagers that were me, that were really like, we really had this kind of body, and we weren't anorexic. We were just really thin. I remember my cousin saying to me, my waist as a teenager was like an 18.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting that you say that, because like, you know, before she even did Wicked, she was, you know, doing a lot of mature songs. Like she was evolving her music. And so like she still was skinny, but she wasn't this. And she was still more like this. And then when she came off of Wicked, and you know, even with
Cynthia
Erivo, she got even skinnier, and I saw her live. That's Cynthia Erivo. I've seen her live. I've seen her up close in person, and like met her. And so like I know she's very petite. She's also a Capricorn sister. So shout out to my Capricorn sister. But she's still she still got skinnier when she was on the Wicked tour. And a lot of people are equating that to like, oh, well, they're doing, it's spiritual.
Maybe there was a spell
I don't
on
think
that
it's
tour,
spiritual.
honey.
Yeah, I don't think it's all that. That's me personally. I just think that there's something going on in Ariana's life that, first of all, we don't need to be privy to. And I think what's gonna save her, and why I think whoever is surrounding her that is outside of management, her family is very, very tight knit around her. That's one of the reasons why she hasn't spiraled. So whatever's going on, her family is rallying around her. I've seen her documentaries. I've seen how her family operates around her. Of course, we're not there. We're just looking on the outside in.
Right.
But you can tell when you see other celebrities when they're doing press and
of course, because I think she would have been way worse. Yeah.
Oh God, yes. Especially the way she hit the stardom and where people were putting pressure on her, and like the amount of like oh, she's the next Mariah Carey, and like she's singing with the best of them. Like the girl can sing, you know what I'm saying? And so
she can blow.
So it's not, she can blow. It's not like she's sitting out doing woo woo woo. Like the girl can sing. Yeah. And so like and downright she can sing. And so but the thing is that like I think that's what's going to save her is her family. But something is going on because you can't, and Ariana, and to all the people who are in her management that are trying to make her fight back at the audience and the fans, look, girl, I'm a fan of you too.
Look, girl,
I'm not trying to be like rude or anything like that, but something's wrong. It's not
something's wrong.
It's one thing for us to be like, okay, the dress is, you're looking very European.
Now this is thin. The other one.
This is different. This is
thin, but still relatively healthy. I'm not seeing her bones. It's still a little bit too thin for me, but I'm a black woman.
I saw the back of this, the back of this dress is open, and so when you see other angles, she looks emaciated.
Oh,
like
okay.
She looks like this. This is the most recent. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, see, now this is what I will say too, though. I will say this too, and then we're gonna get off Miss Grande. But I will say this because we have to go to commercial, and then we'll come back. But I will say this, that if she has an ED, because we got to be careful with the words we say here for these aisles. If she has ED. We don't know if she's actually recovering from that and where she is in that process. And when people start to recover, their bodies aren't going to magically shift back to what it looks like a recovered body should look like. Yes. Okay. So we don't know if she is, well, I'm not even going to say, well, we don't know. I believe I'm looking at somebody with an ED. Do I know?
I'm looking at somebody in a crisis. Something's going on. I don't know what it is. I pray that it's not an ED. I pray that it's not something, but something is going on, whether it's medical, whether it's psychological, something's going on with the girl.
Something is happening with her. But if this is an ED issue, right? Because for your body to look that way, you are right. Now, whether or not that's a full-blown ED itself, or to your point, if there's something psychological, and when people are in stress and distress, the first thing to go is your appetite. And sometimes people can't eat. When my best friend went through a divorce, I'm talking about, she went from a healthy girl to thin, and it was because even when she ate, she could not keep food in her body. It was coming out the front of the back. Even when she tried to eat. So we don't know if this is about stress.
Yeah.
But whatever it's about, we're not going to see if she is in recovery. It's not going to look like recovery right now. And so,
again, and I'm glad that she's taking a step back from the public eye.
Very mindful.
Yeah. I'm glad that she's taking a step back from the public eye, because that, like I think whatever's going on with
her, we said at the beginning.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like just whatever's going on with her, like it is she's taking a step back from the public eye. She's reducing her appearances, and she's going to work on whatever she needs to work on with her family. And I think that will help her, work through whatever she's going through and still recover in a way where she's not smack dab in the public eye. Now, she is Ariana Grande, so it's not like she's like, a C-list actor or a C-list celebrity. Yeah. She is a A-list celebrity. You know what I'm saying? So she is one of those girls that like, she's a superstar. She's an international superstar. So she can't just go to Whole Foods and just be like, okay, I'm going to just go chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, we know who you is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so I think the recovery is going to be a little different, but she's rich enough to where she can have that type of time to just spend, relax, woosah, rest, and really spend some money in her therapy, whatever's going on. So, yeah.
And before we go to commercial, I want to leave us with this. I want to remind us what we said at the beginning with Perez Hilton, that we need to be careful about how we're having conversations about people, even when they are celebrities. Because to Kwame's point, we really don't know what was happening with anybody. And we keep saying, oh my God, why didn't we learn from Chasmin Boseman? Because humans refuse to learn. And so I believe it's an ED does not mean I know it's one. But whatever it is, what I hope for her is recovery, right? Because she looks ill to me. That looks like an ill body. And I don't have to know anything about what's happening. The body is saying to me, in that book, The Body Keeps the Score, her body is saying to me, something is wrong. Whatever that something is, I hope she heals and recover from it. And again, we can have conversation. We can have discussions about it. Let's be very mindful about how we are doing that. Because again, you may not get it on the front end, but you will always get it on the back end. And with that, we're going to go to commercial and we'll be back.
Hey, how y'all doing? Real quick, this is Daryl Walter, host of the Daryl Walter Show. I know. And you are watching Pyro Media Network.
Hey, it's Dr. Nicole D. Vick from Dr. Victorious, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
The news is divided. Ground News puts it back together, with coverage from thousands of outlets around the world in one place. So you can spot sensational reporting, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. Beside every headline, you'll see who owns the source, how reliable it is, and if they have a political bias. Multiple perspectives side by side, giving you a well-rounded view of today's biggest stories. Visit ground.news to learn more.
And we're back.
Yes, we are.
Now, Kwame talked about his Capricorn, not too much on them Capricorns, okay? And it's with the heaviest of heart that I have to talk about a fellow Pisces sister. It's my heart is heavy. And boy, when I talk about somebody needs to heal, Lord Jesus, heal my Pisces sister. Heal her. Who is my Pisces sister that I'm hoping the Lord reach down and touch? Tamar Braxton.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
this is what happens, and this happens a lot with I find this to be true of Pisces, okay? Women, Pisces people generally. Pisces people tend to be very, very talented people, but an immature Pisces is an emotionally unregulated human in the world. That's just the truth. Because Tamar Braxton, to me, right? And I want to use my words carefully because, again, I want to consume her. I don't want to consume her.
Mhm.
Tamar Braxton, to me, comes across as an emotionally unregulated, unhealed Pisces woman. And another thing about Pisces women is that we tend to be very, very bright. We tend to be very, very smart. And Tamar Braxton is smart because she knows how to manipulate.
Mhm.
She knows how to manipulate. She knows how to both be the victim and the villain at the same time, and sometimes within the same night.
Mhm.
She went from being the victim of what we did not know happened in her home, where she broke out her teeth, right? Victim. And in that same night, when people were implying that Funky Dineva had something to do with her injury and her refusing to clear that up, in the same night was she both the victim and the villain.
Mhm.
And that is a special skill that only a Pisces could do.
Mhm.
It truly is amazing in our ability to do that. And those of us who are unhealed, haven't dealt with traumas, this is how we operate in the world. Now, we know somebody said Tamar Braxton operates with people the way she operates with her sister, and she expects us all to respond the way her sisters respond to her.
Mhm.
Just let her behave badly and then pretend like nothing happened the next day. Now, the problem with this Pisces is she's running up against this Taurus.
Mhm. Shout out to the Earth signs.
Tauruses are bulls for a reason, honey.
Mhm.
One thing about a Taurus, and we know this by Kandi, honey, you need to call her Kandi, get your money Burruss, okay? One thing about them Taurus, they are going to be hard workers. They're very
Mhm.
generous people. They're very kind people. And generally, Tauruses don't bother nobody like that, for real, for real.
Generally, yes.
They don't bother anybody. And so when this thing happened, did you kind of see the video that happened at Essence Fest where,
Yes.
honey,
I did.
There, Miss Kandi, honey, speak on it. That
Mhm.
one thing about Miss Burruss, honey, she gonna speak on it.
And she did. And she did.
And did.
Mhm.
So why at Essence Fest? Now, Kwame, if you and me, I will say, I think Kandi handled that as well as she could in that moment.
She did. She did.
Because, and Tamar know, as a Pisces, if somebody had tried that with her, and we already know Tamar is likely to do that, she would have been like, I know you ain't trying to touch me. I know. We already know Tamar would have done that because that's how we get down. I absolutely know a Capricorn would have given you a look so fierce, baby.
Oh,
you would have known before your foot even the threshold. That Capricorn would have let you know, don't even try it.
Mm-hmm.
So Kandi handled that very well. Why would you want to go talk to this person who it is clear you do not like?
Mm-hmm.
You don't respect.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that was about?
Well, I think let me say this, because I'm really getting sick and tired of trying to defend Tamar's pomegranate seed head ass, because every time I go and try to defend her ass, it's always a problem. I tried to defend her with damn Funky Dineva, right? And she didn't listen. I tried to defend her with her damn sisters, right? And she didn't listen. She don't listen to me. So you know what, girl? You wanted to look for trouble. You got trouble, Tamar. This is on you. Okay, I told you not to go with that damn white man. You decided to play games to go with him any damn way. I told you to stay away from Kandi. You started to play games any damn way. You when Kandi was getting into it with the damn escape, You decided to hop on damn Latusia's ass and try to go ahead and jump on her bandwagon just so you can get back at Kandi. So, girl, this is on you. Okay, Funky already read your ass out, and at that point in time, you should have took whatever was left of your raggedy ass carcass and should have just went on about your business. But no, you came in there. You knew exactly what you knew, that you and Kandi don't speak, don't talk, don't even go in people's direction. But you wanted to go in there and play these games. You see, that's what I say. And excuse me for saying this, but this is white woman behavior. You go in there and you try to play these types of games, and you know what was going on. You know that she don't like you, but you wanted to go in and play those games anyway. So you can look like you are the big one. You can look like you're the bigger one, the more mature one. But because of your immaturity and how you play games, people saw right through it. Because you have a track record, honey bunny. You have a track record of the BS. And it's those type of girls that get me pissed off. They're not just mean girls, they're sneaky girls. I can deal with a mean girl. I can read a girl for filth. But it's the sneaky girls that gets on my last nerve. And Tamar, you not everybody is going to be like your sisters. They have to deal with your raggedy ass. We don't. Okay, and so when you come, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm all like Team Kandi or whatever. I like Kandi Burruss. I think she was great, but there's things about Kandi that I didn't like either. But in this instance, you can't sit here and act. Kandi don't bother nobody. She don't intentionally come out of nowhere and bother nobody. Like honestly, like when we see Kandi in the headlines when it comes to somebody, it's because she has pushed back. Because you have poked the bull, and now the bull is coming back at you with her horn.
Yeah, you're right. Kandi is not one that we see in the news. We don't see her in the gossip blogs. We don't listen. Kandi divorce, I believe, went so quietly because she is not a mean girl. She's not a nasty girl. Mm-hmm. She's not a vindictive girl. And I think even in that divorce, even though she was about her business, I think Todd probably made out better than we'll ever even know, because I feel like that's just who Kandi is. Like Candy's the kind of woman like, okay, you're a man, so I'm not going to take care of you, but you're also the father of my children. And so if me and them are going to live a good life, I want you to have a good life too, because my kids got to spend some time with you. Like Kandi gives me that kind of vibe. Like the things she do for people, she's probably fair. Will never. She's fair, and you'll never know, because she just comes across as a genuinely decent human. Now, don't confuse decent with being overall good, because I don't think any human is good or bad. I just think we're human, and sometimes we do good things and sometimes we do bad things. That's a very human thing to do. So I think Kandi is a human like all of us, who has a propensity to probably do more good than she does bad, whereas Tamar has a propensity to do more bad than she does good. And here's the thing: your talent is only going to carry you so far before people drop you off. And what is going to happen, Tamar? If you are a celebrity, if you are an influencer, you need your fan, your base, your audience to be bought into you and not just your talent, right? Yeah. Because people can consume your talent and leave you for dead. You need your fan base to not only be bought into your talent, but they got to be bought into you so that they care. I saw a TikTok today, and you listen now. I'm going to tread on very thin ice here, because, honey, when them beehives come out, honey, they sting you up, and you can't get up off the ground if the beehive get on you. Okay.
Yeah.
But I saw this TikTok, carefully. And she said, if you're,
I was just saying. Because I am quick to throw off that indemnification clause right here. Like, whatever's being said is by the host. Okay, that is not the views and policy or position of Pyro Media Network. Okay, Beehive. All right, Beyonce, we love you, girl. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Kwame, you gonna make Tammy's take be Tammy's take with Kwame. Like the show's gonna change in a minute, okay? Don't start now. Don't start. Now, Beehive, this was gonna be a compliment to y'all, okay? But you know, again, sometimes what you think is a compliment to y'all be an offense. So that's why I'm treading real light here.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see a TikTok of a woman that said, if you want to have a fan base, you need to have, like, if you're going to have a parasocial relationship with a celebrity, you need to have it the way the Beehives have it Beyonce. Because in the way that they will sting you, they will drag her too. She said one of the things, she goes, when they start calling when the Beehive call her Giselle, they mean business.
Yes. That's
right.
true.
So they don't just drag you for even coming at they queen, honey. They drag her too. When she do some stuff they don't like, they'll be like, now listen here, girl. Now you know we love you. This is not it. Drop act 3. Now, Giselle. Like they talk to Beyonce. Like Beyonce,
and she listens.
She listens. Like their good girlfriend. And they don't just have a relationship with Beyonce in that they will defend her, but they have a relationship that they will check her too. But the way they check her is with so much love that you can feel it. Even when they mad, they ain't really like, they mad, but they ain't really mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when they get mad at Jay-Z, they'll say, like, don't make me call Solange. Like they don't play up. They don't play about Giselle Knowles. They don't play about Beyonce. They do not play about her. And Tamar, unfortunately, because of her antics, with a talent as rich and as deep as hers, her fans don't care about her that way. They will, because listen, that All the Way Home, baby, she put crack in that song.
Honey, listen. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Tammy, like it's one thing like to have talent. It's what, like, I'm all about, like, your talent should open doors for you, should pave the way to what you're doing, you know, should sustain you.
Your character gonna keep you in the door.
But your character is gonna keep you in that room. You know what I'm saying? And Tamar has this propensity to be, I'm sorry, but a bitch to everyone, and even to her own people. And it's not, and I'm not calling her a B, but it's that bitch assness that comes out that just, like, it's just not cool. And then you do it to your own, but then you go and cry wolf to the cameras and be like, why do we have to do this to our own? But, like, you know, we're black women and black women should stick together. But then you don't stick together with them. You try your best to make people look bad on camera. You're not being a covering
for black women.
You're not fixing your sister's wig. You're the first one to be like, hey girl, you shouldn't have your wig like that. Hey girl, you need to fix your damn lip liner. That's not, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. And this is going to be a segue. So here's what I'm going to say to Tamar, because this is something you do and it's real ugly. And this is the conversation that we're going to have this is going to be the end of the show, but it's going to be a very heavy conversation. There's a lot of things I want to say, especially to the women who look like me, because Tamar just did this in her nonsense with Kandi. And one of the things that Tamar does repeatedly is remind us that she is in fact homophobic, and it doesn't matter how many gays she has around her, because when she gets angry, the first weapon she throws at people is your man is gay.
Yes.
And she says it as it's an indictment on the person, and as if they got somehow lesser of a man because the man is gay. And it is so, of all of her antics, right? And listen, I don't excuse a lot of antics because but what I was saying to you earlier is that she doesn't have the fan base that won't just consume her. I am a fan that simply consumes her talent, not her. I have no vested interest in her. And those are not the kind of fans you want. But you have to have the character that cultivate the fans that will consume you and consume you in a way that is healthy, in a way that is caring, in a way that is kind. She hasn't cultivated that. And whenever she gets angry, her go-to is homophobia every single time. And I have said this on TikTok, and I'm going to say this here. A lot of us in the Black community, especially Black women, because one of my mutuals see the video. He said, y'all don't like gay people y'all don't hate gay people for real because y'all got all of our slangs. You want to hang with the girls. And I said, no, the same way that white people like what we bring as Black people is in terms of culture and coolness and how they can take that from us, but hate us. A lot of us in the Black community, that is our relationship with a lot of gay people, especially gay Black people. We will take your slangs. We will take your lingos. We will take your hey girls. We will go to the brunches with you, but we don't like you. We like what you bring to our culture, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't really have Black culture without gay people in it. Black culture is an amalgamation of church culture, gay culture, and educational culture, right? Like when I think about Black people, I think about Black people in those three ways. I think about Black people as either being very, very spiritual, religious, the girls and the girls, as in ballroom gay culture. And I think about Black people as being very clean and educated.
Yeah.
Like if you had to put Black culture in a bowl, and it doesn't matter where that culture is. I don't care if that culture is in the Americas, in the Caribbean. We're not talking about that one Caribbean place, honey, because they haven't, except for that one Caribbean island, where you can, But even in the Caribbean, like that is the culture. Religion, education, sprinkled with a whole lot of homosexuality on top, and you got vavoom, Black people, right? All that pizzazz, all of that style, all that everything. And whenever she doesn't get her way, whenever she wants to hurt people, whenever she wants to harm people, her go-to is homophobia. And that leads us into our conversation that has to happen, because I want to talk about Tamar in context, because I've been seeing a lot of women who look like me feeling like what has happened with Sidney Starr now gives them permission to let their homophobia and transphobia fly.
Yeah.
And it's disheartening to me because I saw a comment where there was a trans woman. She made a video and she said she is devastated by this for two reasons. She said, I am devastated that another Black child is having to experience sexual abuse.
Yeah.
She said, the second reason I'm devastated is because I know how this is going to play into a country that has been for some time now tried to scapegoat my community as the reason for all the ills in the world. And I would add the third thing about that is the fact that this is a Black trans woman also adds to the belief that Black people are inherently violent, right? Even though we know the PDF file exists in that certain community, they will take this one Black trans woman and try to assign this to us. And, I'm a conspiracy theorist by heart. I don't believe that this is by chance that this Black trans woman, right? Because what are we currently talking about in the news about who are the chief PDF files? What do they look like? And so if you can direct this and make this person the face of PDF files, you can make them Black and trans. It's like two birds, one stone. Right. Do you understand how much propaganda can come out of this?
Absolutely. And for those, like, I think just for myself, just someone being a part of the community, like it's just really, really freaking frustrating. It's frustrating because it's yet again, I'm frustrated and disappointed at the same time. I'm frustrated because it's yet again another reason for them to sit there and put something on my trans brothers and sisters and siblings, and to put something on the whole community as a whole. To have a reason to implement more harmful legislation. When in fact, statistically, from their own statistics, the FBI can show you, or you can even Google it, the profile for a PDF file happens to be white cisgender heterosexual men. Right. If we want to break it down, it's probably between 35 and 45 is the age range between that. But that's besides the point. We're not talking about people that look like Sidney. We're not talking about people that are like a T.S. Madison, or it looks like a T.S. Madison, or it looks like a Hope Giselle, or it looks like, a Laverne Cox. We're talking about people who happen to be looking like Mitch McConnell, who look like is he still alive? Is he okay?
Girl, he was golfing the other day, honey. So he's alive, honey. They sent us pictures of him on the golf course, honey. Hitting a hole in one.
Did you see the picture of me and him? We went to brunch at
listen,
over there
I'm
Hamburger
loving
Mary's.
the photoshops of Mitch McConnell everywhere but where he is, which is in the grave somewhere. But okay, we digress.
Mitch, girl, we know what's going on. Whatever. But going back to Sidney, I think the frustration is just the narrative that is always being put on. When we're constantly I'm seeing every day, and maybe it's just my algorithm, but I'm seeing, because I'm very heavily into politics, so I see all of these different politicians, all of these different right wingers getting arrested or getting caught with minors, or getting caught with child corn, you know what I'm saying, different types of things or whatever, and so like these are the people that are getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not giving any space or any type of leniency on what goes on with Sidney Starr, because that also leads to my frustration and my disappointment. Because it's like, girl, if you are indeed, this was a quote unquote mistake, there's no mistake when it comes to that, because you should have checked further. First of all, I don't find nobody attractive that looks like a child. I don't find nobody attractive that looks younger than me. And
nobody's confusing a 14-year-old boy. I'm sorry.
Nobody's confusing a 14-year-old boy with like a 25-year-old. You can tell the damn difference.
No,
okay?
Nobody's confusing a 14-year-old boy with a 25-year-old man, or a 14-year-old girl with a 25-year-old man. Like, you're just not doing that.
It's just not happening.
And the fact, again, there's two things I think. Well, there's, like I said, for me, there's three things I think about here. I think about another Black child has to have experienced abuse, and not just, it's one thing to experience abuse in your home, that you have to struggle with being able to tell somebody the truth about that. And then God forbid you tell somebody the truth about that and they don't believe you, and that kind of harm. It is another thing to be the child that makes the news of being the child who was abused.
Yeah.
To some degree, when we are abused or sexually assaulted, I have my own story around that. When we are abused and sexually assaulted, we have the power to decide when we want to talk about that and when we want to tell our stories about that, right? Yeah. We still have some control over that. When you are the 14-year-old child in the headline news, you don't even have control over when you decide you want to talk about the fact that you were abused.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have that. And because Sidney Starr is a trans woman, right? And that 14-year-old child, we don't know if that child believed her to be a biological woman who hasn't yet even figured out their sexuality.
Yeah.
And now you are thrown in this headline of being the 14-year-old boy that was sexually abused by a trans woman. Now, if you are 14, 15, and you present heterosexual, or you like girls, right? Because she is a woman. She's a woman. For all intents and purposes, she's a woman. And now the news just came out that you were sexually abused by a trans woman. And though I see her as a woman, and most of us see it, we already know the transphobia in this country will always assign her man and male, which is why when she did that thing when Chingy, of accusing Chingy of being with her, we saw what that did to his career. Because unfortunately, in our community, even the most passable, non-clockable, I'm talking about had full cert. In our community, none of that means anything. They will still call a trans woman a man. And so the stigma that this young child will be carrying around, not because being with a trans woman is wrong, not because liking a trans woman is wrong, is because our community hasn't really dealt with our homophobia and transphobia, and so we will make it wrong. The second thing that I am worried about in what has happened is how it does impact the trans community, because we've been living in a country and a society that has spent decades trying to make them the villain in everybody's story. And the setback for these people is immeasurable, the damage that's happening to that community. And the third people that this impacts is, in fact, Black people, because this narrative that Black people are inherently more violent, Black people are inherently more, this is why white men get themselves all in a tizzy about white women being with Black men. They see us as more promiscuous, more, you know what I mean? Like sexually deviant. And so the narrative that we are sexually deviant, the narrative that we're more promiscuous, and what it does to trans people and what it does to young Black children who unfortunately have to deal with being abused sexually. Like all this had the recipe for all of the wrong things coming together. All of the wrong things coming together is showing up in this story. And, I want to say to the women that look like me, who are in the comment section, just letting your transphobia fly and your homophobia fly the way Tamar does. One of the things, and I will say this here, and then I'll let Kwame have the last word, because again, he's a part of this community. When I was having my children, I remember saying to my ex at the time that we will not use language that is dehumanizing to gay people. We will not use language that implies that something is wrong, because the reality is we don't know what we're getting when we're having our children. And it would be a shame for us to be our children's first bully.
Yes.
And so as you have this commentary about Sidney Starr, some of you are mothers of young children and some of you are pregnant with children. You have no idea what God, source, the universe is getting ready to entrust you with in that child.
Yep.
And I want you to think about, do I want to be my child's first bully? So when you're having this commentary about Sidney Starr and you're saying this is about the child, it should only be about the child. And the gender, the identity of the person really should not matter. And we should all want the same thing for this person under the jail.
Yeah.
We should all want the same thing. And the gender, what they identify as, trans woman, gay man, straight woman. None of that should matter. You harmed a child, to jail you go.
Yeah.
And
period.
we know statistically that transgender people are not more likely to be sexually deviant when it comes to children. We know this in the same way we know that Black people aren't more likely to be violent. But yet, if we let the people who have the power in society tell us, they'll tell us that we're more violent, and we know better. Yep. We don't need to be the chorus of the people in society who have the power when it comes to gender identity. Tell us and be the spokespeople that transgender people molest children more. We know that not to be true. So you can have the discussion. You can be disgusted. We all are. But I want you to be very mindful of your homophobia and your transphobia, because some of you are having these conversations with little children at home. Some of you are having these conversations with that child baking in your belly, and you don't know what God is going to entrust you with. And I know, or I would hope, you would not want to be your child's first bully. Kwame, I'll let you have the last word on this.
Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. And everything you said, absolutely. But to the slew-footed, raggedy, right-winged, agenda-speaking hoes out there that want to continue to place the narrative on the community, not just the LGBTQIA plus community, not just minorities, period, not just Black women, not just all of those that are disenfranchised. To you hoes, I have this to say. The gig is up. Okay? The jig is up, because you can sit here and use this one thing to try to be the foundation for your entire agenda to try to come after trans women, to try to come after trans men and trans siblings, and non-gender non-conforming people. But it's what boggles my mind, and it's something that my girl Hope Giselle, my sister from another Mr. Hope Giselle, had said in her response to the whole Sidney Starr situation, is that oftentimes nobody's talking about the child. Aren't you guys the one that's pro-life? Aren't you guys the one that's always talking about the children? What about the children? Children should be exposed to this. Children should be protected. Nobody's rallying around the child. Nobody's coming around. Not once have you guys talked about the child. You guys have talked about Sidney Starr. You guys have talked about, well, this is why trans women should not be in bathrooms. This is why trans women should have their own space. This is why there should be laws against trans women. You said nothing about the child. And the psychological for that child, whoever that child is, to be thrusted into the public eye like this, without any type of training, public training, or public relations training, or how to handle media, or how to deal with. They're going to be swarmed with all types of media and all types of press, all types of blogs and TMZ.
Because they will out the child. We live in a society that will out that child. Yes.
Oh, give it a couple of weeks. And if they don't out them on the mainstream, it'll happen in the blogs.
In the blogs. Or they'll out the child by way of the parent. So they'll say, well, yes. I'm not saying it's their parent. You think the parent is walking around the earth without family members, without friends, that people won't know who the child is? You're absolutely right.
And y'all are crazy to think that we won't find out. But that's besides the point. What also frustrates me, and what also is a major point, and what is a major point of contention for me, is the fact that nobody's having a conversation. Because when you guys want, and when I say you guys, I'm talking about you guys. When you guys are sitting here, when something happens, well, we're all not racist. We're all not this. We're all not like that. I'm not like Uncle John who is burning tiki torches with the rest of the marches and the Proud Boys. I'm not like Uncle Samantha who or Aunt Samantha who is bringing Kool-Aid to the Klan meeting. I'm not like them. No. So that means that all trans women are not like each other. We're not all a monolith, right?
Right.
If we can't sit there and say that you all are the same, then you can't do the same with us.
Amen.
So stop using 1 and 2, maybe 3 instances as a pandemic or as a way of fitting your narrative to make it seem like it's everybody la-di-da-di. Because it's not the case. But what we can say is that there's a pattern of right-wing, white heterosexual, cisgendered men who happen to be on the most wanted or the most or the profile for PDF files,
right,
and for assaulters,
right,
and for being violent, and for being serial killers.
And I will say this, and I said I was going to use the last word, but Kwame, here we are.
No, please.
I will say this, and for those of you who always argue the exception and not the rule, it's a sign of low intelligence.
Oh, yes.
It's a sign of low intelligence. Nobody's arguing the exception. We need to be talking about what the rule is.
Yes.
And the rule is transgender people are not the ones molesting children in this country. They're not the ones trafficking children in this country. It is wealthy men, wealthy white cisgender men, heterosexual men, and to boot Christian.
Yep.
That's who's trafficking children. That's who is abusing children. And so the exception isn't the rule. And again, I think we can have this conversation about the disgustingness of what Sidney Starr has done here without falling into transphobia and homophobia. And if you can't do that, you just need a Sidney Starr to be the catalyst to be homophobic and transphobic.
Exactly. And you know, something else that I think all of y'all should do is, you know, there's a scorecard that you guys can go ahead and check out to see where your empathy is. That's by my girl Tammy over here. You can go ahead and go to tammytrillo.com and check that out. Okay. There's also a book called The Empathy Gap that'll help y'all raggedy asses get yourselves together. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay.
And with that, now I know I told Kwame, I said, listen, you gonna make this a Tammy and Kwame show, because I love our banter, I love our back and forth. Yes. And I think it adds for a richer discussion. Now, Kwame already has his own thing going on at Pyro Media Network, so please check out his show. But I think we have to bring Kwame at least once a month to do a show.
I'm down.
Because
I'm so down.
I love doing these hot topics with him, because I mean, who else is going to do it with me? I love having him come to do hot topics. And I hope tonight's hot topics, I hope you got something from it. I hope you learned something from it. And yes, in every one of the hot topics that we covered, every single one of you should be doing your empathy and self-empathy scorecards. You must do it. You must do it, because when you engage with empathy for yourself and when you engage with empathy for people in the world, nothing about your business model has to change. Nothing about the way that you conduct yourself has to change. You change. And get the book, The Empathy Gap. It is black and white. And I have said this about my book, Kwame, that although this is written in a very black and white perspective, some black people, you are the white people in the book. Some black people, some of y'all are the white people in the book. And you won't know that until you pick it up, buy it, and read it.
Looking at you, Tamar.
Looking at you, Tamar. Looking at you, Tamar. Some of you are the white people in the book. But I want to thank Kwame for being on the show tonight. I want to thank you guys for being with us. I missed you guys. And with that, we will see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.